everyone, I'm Heather.
And I'm Nick.
With Tailored Realty Group. And while we usually share all the reasons why Apex and Cary are some of the best places to live in the Triangle,
today we're flipping it around.
We are flipping it around. Yep, we're talking about the worst parts about living here because, let's be honest, no town is perfect. And we want you to know the good
and the not so good
before you make a move here. Here we go. All right, let's jump in with one of the biggest frustrations we hear about from families moving here, and that is the school system. The Wake County Public School System is a big reason families move to Apex or Cary, but navigating the school system can be really confusing. Wake County Public Schools offer year-round schools, traditional schools, magnet schools, charter schools. It's a lot to sort through. And with the rapid growth in both Apex and Cary, schools sometimes get capped once they hit their capacity. So that means your child could be assigned to an overflow school, which may not be the school you were hoping for. So if schools are important to you, make sure you do your homework before buying a home. I've actually recorded a really informative video that will help you understand the Wake County Public School System and how it works. I will put a link for that up here somewhere. Moving on to the second worst thing about Cary and Apex, let's talk a little bit about the weather, especially the rain and the humidity. Between Apex and Cary, you'll get about 46 inches of rain a year, and that compares to the national average of just 38. This past summer was especially soggy. In early August, we saw a stretch of at least 7 days that had a pretty significant rain. Now, I've learned that how you feel about that really depends on where you are from. For example, if you're coming from Florida, this feels like nothing. You're used to potentially daily downpours and always lots of humidity. Now, if you're coming from New England, you might be glad you've swapped your shovels for rain boots. But if you're coming from somewhere like California, where the air is dry and it's almost always sunny and there's very low humidity, the frequent summer rain and the humidity can definitely feel frustrating. It can feel like it's not what you imagined when you heard the weather was moderate. Now, when I talk about moderate weather, I'm considering my own background, which is New England, and I spent some time in South Florida. So this moderate weather is perfect for me, but it is true. It gets hot, it gets humid, and we do have occasional periods of a lot of rain. Moving on to the third worst thing, here's one that definitely applies to both Apex and Cary, and that is the critters. So our warm and humid climate and our proximity to wooded areas means you're definitely gonna see mosquitoes, and you're gonna see some roaches, and yes, you're gonna see the occasional snake. Now, before you freak out, let's talk a little bit about the roaches. Pest control services are common around here, so you should not have expectations of like roach infestations if that's what you're imagining. But what you will have is the occasional palmetto bug, or what that really means is roach. I think palmetto bug is kind of a friendlier way to say it. But anyway, I digress. You might have the occasional palmetto bug find its way into your house, and it's probably going to make you want to burn the place down the first time it happens. To give you some context about how frequently you should expect this kind of thing, I've lived in my current Apex house. I've been in Apex about 16 years, but I've lived in my current house about 2 years. In those 2 years, I've probably seen 4 palmetto bugs. And yeah, the first time I saw one, I did want to burn the place down. But to me, 4 times in 2 years isn't something that's going to make me totally freak out. But if creepy crawlies make you squeamish, it's just something you definitely need to be aware of. Moving on to the fourth worst thing in Cary and Apex, let's talk about traffic. Traffic is another complaint we hear sometimes, although not as common as something like the schools. Beyond the commuter traffic, which you would expect going into Raleigh, each town has its own pain points. In Apex, it's Highway 55. That's the main artery, and during rush hour, there's always a lot of backups, especially as you pass through downtown right here. Now in Cary, congestion builds up around major intersections like Cary Parkway, High House Road, and Davis Drive. That said, let's keep some perspective here. I've lived in Boston, I've lived in the Miami area. I visited LA, where I sat in traffic on a Saturday afternoon. It wasn't even rush hour. And I promise you that compared to any of those cities, the traffic here is very mild. We're talking about maybe 15 to 20 minutes added to your travel time. Now, if what you're expecting is wide open roads and no bottlenecks at all, it can definitely test your patience. And finally, let's talk about something that always sparks questions when people first hear about it. The fifth worst thing, not easy to say, the fifth worst thing in this area is its proximity to the nuclear power plant. If you are looking at homes on the southwestern side of Apex or even parts of western Cary, you'll notice we're not too far from the Sharon Harris nuclear power plant. You can actually see the cooling towers from certain roads. In fact, I'm here in Sweetwater and there's spots here that you can see it. For many people, it's a total non-issue, but for others, just knowing it's there can feel a little bit unsettling. The reality is the plant is heavily regulated and... Is that Bobby? When clients show up at your recordings, oh my God. Oh my God, there's two of them. These are the kind of people I work with. Oh yeah! Oh my God, these are fun.
All right.
Bye guys. The plant is heavily regulated and supplies power to much of the area, but it's close enough that it's definitely something you should know about. So there you have it, the 5 worst things about living in Apex and Cary. Do these things make the towns unlivable?
Not at all.
We live here, we love it here, and clearly a lot of other people do too. In my opinion, the good far outweighs the bad. If Apex or Cary are on your radar and you want to talk through the realities of living here, schedule a free consultation on my website and we'll chat.
And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more insider tips on living in the Triangle.
We'll see you next video. Nice job, Nick.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.